Hello, hello, hello. Testing everything. Of course, nothing is ever set up the way that I think it's going to be when I come on these lives. I feel like we need to be up a little bit higher. Sorry, I hate to jog everything around, but I want to make sure that everything is in frame. All right, it looks like we're pretty. Like we need to be up just a tad bit higher so we can get the full frame in. All right, that looks okay. That looks like I'm straight as well. All right, so I'm gonna just check over here that I'm live. Perfect. All right. And it looks good on that screen. Okay, I think we're set to get going, everyone. Happy Sunday. It is 1 p.m. Pacific time. Hopefully you're having a wonderful weekend and that you have been enjoying your family and whatever you had planned for the weekend. So the reason I'm doing a live today is I'm finding I don't have enough time to do the creating and editing and publishing. And so I think for the next few weeks that I'm going to do lives on a Sunday. That's my hope, at least. It may be a Saturday, but I'm gonna try for Sunday afternoons, and we're gonna try that for the next couple of weeks. I am gonna be gone at the end of October, which is around the corner. It's next week, or this week, I guess, since it is Sunday. And so that is also going to put a bit of a dent in my ability to create, because I'm actually going to be gone for 12 or 13 days. So again, my life is a little bit chaotic now, but I wanted to come back and finish the Autumn to Remember. A couple of weeks ago, we did all the cutting and we did layout number 1, and I said I would come back and we would do layouts 2 and 3. And so today we're going to do those. Everything is cut. So really this is about assembly and working through the instructions again for those of you who haven't used the instructions that we used to do with Close to My Heart. These instructions that are part of the scrapbooking workshop are pretty much the same. So if you are used to the Close to My Heart instructions, these should be very simple. I am following the layouts and the guides with this particular kit. I actually happen to like 2 of the 3 layouts, but I did want to go through the process of doing it exactly like the instructions said, so that you would get a feel for them if you hadn't used these instructions before. I probably would have deviated on layout number 2, which is what we're going to start with today, and changed it up a bit. But like I said, I'm going to go ahead and just do them as they were designed. And then hopefully next week I'll be able to use the scraps that we have. So we have a bunch of scraps here that we will be able to use in our additional layouts that we can create from this kit. All right, so layout number 2. So layout number 2, we didn't have a whole lot of pieces that we needed for this layout. So we had 2 pieces of the trees, 2 pieces of the animals or the trees on the other side, and 2 pieces of the green or the tree stems here. So those were all the pieces that we needed for this kit. We're actually going to use the plaid side or the striped side of this. I have them so I can see what I wrote on each of these pieces. And again, when you can't do something right away, labeling your pieces is really important so that you can go back and you can pull out the right pieces for the layout that you're doing or whatever it is you're trying to create. All right, so we're going to flip to the instructions for this layout, and that is going to be on page 8 of the of this. And so the preparation, and again, there is an optional technique that is in all of the workshops. This optional technique was creating some enhancements to the wood grain die cuts. and attach the coordinating colorful strips behind the white diagonal die cuts here. So what we're going to do is we're going to set aside the sticker sheet because we will not need that until the very end. We are going to pull out the wood grain die sheet, and we're going to pull out the pieces that we need for this layout. So what it looks like we need is we need the sort of 4-leaf rounded leaf. So these guys right here, hopefully you can see them. So that one and this one are going to go on this left side. So we need those two. So I'm going to put those. I have a little bin kind of off here to the side that I'm using so that I can collect things and make sure I don't lose anything. And then we're going to turn it over to see the right side. And it looks like we have 2 maple leaves that we need to pull out. So the larger maple leaf here, and the smaller maple leaf right here. So we're going to use those 2. So we're just going to put those, and then we can set this aside because that's the only thing we're going to use here. All right, so the other thing that we need are all of the pieces that are part of the die cut sheets. So for this, remember on the back side, everything is labeled. And so you'll see that we have a whole lot of project 2s. And so I'm going to just start taking this apart and putting them aside because we're going to need to attach these to the other piece here. So I'm going to just grab all of these pieces and put them in my little bin off here to the right. I have a small space, and I don't know about you, but usually I tend to lose things on my desk, even in a small space. So if I have a little bin or something that I can place it on, even if it's like a charger plate or something like that, it does help me like try to keep track at least of the pieces that I'm going to be using, whether it's a die cut piece that I'm using that I've dyed from a stamp and die set, or if it's pre-cut die pieces like these that I can work with them. All right, so this is one of the pieces that is part of the layout, but we don't need all the white cutouts. We could save these. If you want to save these, you could use these possibly on an additional layout. So I'm going to just sort of set them aside over here as well, and we'll decide if we want to keep them. Again, it all depends on how much you like to use what you have versus how much do you like to complete. Again, I have a small space, so if I can't figure out a way to use these right away, like within the next couple of weeks with this layout, I probably will just get rid of them. I need to make sure that I'm utilizing what I have, but not keeping too many pieces around for for storage, because I probably won't find them again in my stack of things because I have so many other pieces that I might be using. And it doesn't make sense to hold on to things that I'm not going to utilize right away. It would be just as easy for me to use my Cricut to die cut something like these pieces. If I wanted to, I could also easily cut them on my paper trimmer. So again, if you don't think that you're going to have a use for something like this, throw it away. Okay, it is only paper, and I don't want you to just hold on to something to hold on to it for no reason. All right, so this is the boring part. Sorry about that, but I did want to walk through kind of the whole process of getting all of the pieces ready for the layout and not have them pre-done for you. So, okay, so this is the first piece that we're going to have to lay these pieces that we punched out on the back side. So we're going to set that aside over here since it is a large piece. Hopefully I won't lose it. And again, this I'm going to just throw away. Not even going to bother. I could, you know, there's lots of fun things that you could do with it. Like you could use it as a stencil. You could use it for other things. But again, it's going to take up space. I probably won't use it on the extra layouts that I am going to create. So I'm going to throw it away. So hopefully everyone is okay. I know there is a lot of cleanup going on in the southeast of the United States right now. Hopefully everybody is safe and okay. Feeling for a lot of those people who have had pretty much everything wiped away through Hurricane Helene. It's crazy the pictures I've seen. I've checked in with all of my friends that I have both in Florida and North Carolina, and luckily they are all okay. But if you are in that situation or you know someone, you know, just know that my thoughts are with you guys, because it's a pretty horrific storm that has happened to that part of the United States, and it's going to be a long time for them to dig out. All right, so so this is the second piece here, and then I'm going to just go through and I'm going to look for the other pieces that are part of project 2. So again, this is the other die cut sheet, and I'm going to just pop out project 2 here, and I am going to go ahead, I think, and pop out project 3 and put it in the project 3 pile, just so that we're done with working with these pieces, so that we don't have to have this lingering. So I've got over here on off to the side, I have my whole project 3 stack, and I'm going to just put that on top of that project 3 stack. Now this one I'm going to be a little bit careful because there's some thin pieces here. I don't want to tear it. So we're going to add that there. Okay, that looks like all of that. Okay, so then we've got some project 2 in this circle here. So we're going to go ahead. Whoops, I tore that a little bit, but make that work. Okay, project 2. So we have not much paper in project 2, but a lot of these die cuts are part of project 2. So that's a slightly different use. So in project 3, we're not going to have as many die cuts, we're going to have more paper. So again, a balance of those things. Okay, this is a project 3, so we'll put that over in our project 3 pile, and then project number 2. So we are not having fall-like weather really here in California right now. It is definitely, we just had 80, almost 90 degree weather last week. This weekend's a little bit less hot, but we're going to get hot again next week as we go through the week. So it's definitely a going to be non-fall like weather here for the next few days. All right, so what we're going to do is we're going to take our 2 pieces here, and we've got a number of our strips. I feel like I just flipped something and lost it, but maybe not. Okay, so we're going to have to add these pieces to this, to the backs of these. And looking at this, it looks like, okay, it looks like we're going to add, I really feel like I had another project 2 piece that I just lost. Huh. I don't see that it went anywhere. Maybe it was just my imagination, but I don't have, I thought I had another short piece of this. So I'm a little concerned that maybe I don't have all the pieces here, but we're gonna keep working with it. Okay, so what I need to do, and I'm just looking at the looking at this, and we're gonna lay these pieces down here. let's see, I think, nope. I'm trying to find the spot where they fit here because they don't exactly tell you. Okay, so this is a longer one, so this one probably goes here, like so. This one probably goes on that one right there. That looks, that is going to fit right inside. That feels like that might be wrong, so maybe it goes here. No, here. Well, maybe it does go there. But that fits like perfectly in that spot. I'm just kind of looking and seeing if I can understand which things go where here. So well, that's, if I turn this like this, no, this is going the wrong direction. So this one definitely is going to go here on this project. Let's flip this so it's got the right direction there. Okay, so I think this one goes here. And that's a green. That's a green too. I feel like that it's too many greens together, but I guess we're supposed to put two greens and it looks like one of those. So I'm just trying to figure out, this is the bigger square over here. So I've got a green. I need another green down here. And then I need this one here. I think this one goes there, like that. All right, and then this is a yellow. This is a yellow. So this one's supposed to have two greens and that, so that means I need to grab another green, which these are all too long. These feel all too long. Sorry guys, I'm trying just to work out how these might fit on here. And these all feel way too long for this piece. Okay, so let's look on the other side. So we want a yellow one up here, so that was good. Then we needed a green one kind of towards the, let's see, a green one like here. That's too, I think that one's too long. Let's see, is this one, that one will fit there. Then we need one of the Cajun ones next to that. So that would be that one, and then another yellow one. So that's going to go here. Okay, so this, nope, that's not going to fit there. Okay, so do we go this direction then? Do we go like that? No, that doesn't work either. It does belong there. But that one doesn't work there. That one works. That one works there. Okay, and that is a green, and that's supposed to be a yellow. Okay. Sorry, guys. I didn't expect this to be quite so complicated where I had to do, but this is not fitting in this space the way I expected it to. So if I did, looks like it fits there, but it doesn't fit up here at the top. Okay, all right, so we're gonna leave that like that. We're gonna just see if we can figure out this other piece. Okay, so this is another green piece, and so I think we're gonna lay that here. Just seeing. green. Yeah. Okay. You know, this isn't going to be perfect, guys. I can tell. I'm having a hard time really understanding how they put their pieces together here. And it's not making a lot of sense, but I think we're going to go with this. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to put some adhesive here on this. And we're just going to flip this over. And again, I'm just trying to sort of follow what it looks like on the picture. So we're going to put that piece on. Then we're going to come down and we're going to add some adhesive. Again, I'm just sort of doing it at the ends here. It's going to get tacked down again on the page, so I'm not super worried about it being tacked all the way around. Just sort of at these ends so that I can make sure that it sort of stays in place. Okay, so we're going to do this one here. And this one, you know, this one I think I'm actually going to put down here. I'm going to change the location of it. It just doesn't seem to fit well, and I'll just trim off these edges here. Actually, let's do it like this. Do it like this, and then I can trim off this edge on one side completely, like so. Okay, so I think that's what we're going to do there. Okay, so now we're going to go ahead and do this other side. Again, adding this piece here, and we'll trim off that edge as well. This one. And as I've said before on my videos, no one's going to know that this wasn't exactly the way that it was designed with the way I'm doing it. So, you know, don't stress about the fact that these are not exactly the same. Okay, so I'm going to just come in here and I'm going to trim these guys up so that they're not showing and that these pieces are ready for us to attach. And again, I could probably, it looks like this piece might actually fit here. It's a little bit too small, a little small. Let's see, does it fit on this side? Ah, it fits on that side. So we can actually use this and fill in this other little corner here. So just added a little bit more to that. Okay, so now this one, we're going to trim this guy up. Just trying to get it tight to this. There we go. Okay, there we go. And we can actually add this, maybe. It won't work there. But let's just turn over, let's see. We could again put this in this corner over here and just add a little bit more interest. So we'll trim that guy up too. Otherwise, it's just going to go to waste, so it doesn't hurt to add a little bit more there. Okay, all right, so we've got those two pieces prepped. So the other two pieces we needed to, prep were the dye, the wood grain dyes. And so it is really hard to see on this what they did, but what they used is the Stampin' Write markers, which I don't have. So I'm again going to use some of the tri-blend markers that I have. I'm going to use the light yellow blend, the dull green blend, and the coral shades. And just looking at this one, I think what they put on this one was the green. And so on those two, on these two leaves, I'm going to use the dull green. And I think I'm going to use I'm going to just double check again on a piece of scrap if I want to use the dark or if I want to use, I think I'm going to use the dark. And all they did is really just take the pen and add a line to the outside edge. So they just went like this to the outside edge of these leaves. Like so. So that's what they really, that's all they did, was add that little bit of a line to the outside edge. And they did that on both of these pieces. Like so. And that's that one. Okay. So I did that again with the Tri-Blend Dull Green Blend Dark. And then for the maple leaves, what they did is they did one yellow and one red. And I'm using a coral. And I am going to use the mid, I believe the mid coral on the big one. And all they did was really just go around the outside of the pointed part of the leaf here and just add some color to that. And then at the bottom here, they added some color. And so that's that one. And I did switch up from the last layout. I decided I didn't like the yellow-green blend that I think I used. It was too dark. So I decided to switch to the yellow blend. And I'm going to use the dark of the yellow, light yellow blend, and do the same thing on this maple leaf. And I think this more closely matches the color that they were going for in the layout. Okay, this one is super hard to see. I don't expect that you'll even be able to see it on my hand. So a really light yellow that's there. It's not very bright. All right, so now we've got our pieces. We're not going to need the maple leaves right away, so we'll go ahead and put those back in our little container. And now we're going to start the assembly of the left side. So we are going to pull out our petal pink cardstock. So that's this. Remember, this is the two-tone cardstock that is part of now the lineup for Stampin' Up. So I've got the light side and dark side, and they are saying use the petal pink cardstock for the base, the light petal pink. So we're going to go ahead and start with that. And then we're going to grab pieces 2A. So now I'm going to look at my pieces and find my 2A, which is going to be this piece here, and 2B, which is this piece, and 2C, which is this piece. So those are the three pieces that we're going to use for the left side. Okay, and actually, you know what? I'm going to switch this over because I am right-handed, and this and on my desk is a little far away. So I think I'm going to put everything on this side, and we're going to use this mat. Okay, so I'm going to just put a little bit of adhesive down to stabilize my piece of paper on my Versamat so that it doesn't wiggle around too much. And we are going to do the assembly. Now remember that on the instructions, it's going to tell you positioning wise. So this brown piece with the plaid pattern is going to come in 1/4 inch from the left. Okay, and it's a 12-inch piece, so it's going to go from top to bottom, but it's going to be 1/4 inch in from the left. So we're going to take that, going to go ahead and put our adhesive on. And again, if you've got a T ruler and you want to be precise, you can set this up. The Versamat does have, and unfortunately we don't have a Versamat in Stampin' Up! World yet. Hopefully we will get one. I feel like I'm a little crooked here on my page. So you can line this up, this T-square, line it up with the top and bottom, but again, because the Versamat has all of the markings, you don't really need the T-square for this one. All right, so that piece is down. So that's our first piece. So our second piece is going to be 2B, and that is going to be 7/8 in from the right hand side of the page. So 7/8 is not marked on the page, so you don't have an exact marking, but 7/8 is roughly going to be so it's sort of it's going to be halfway in between. So this is 1/8, and then the quarter, 3/8, then the half, 4/8, then the 3/4. Actually, did I do that right? 16th, 8th. 8th is halfway between. Hold on, let me just double check my little ruler thing. So 1/8, 2/8. Oh, so 1/8, 2/8, 3/8 before the half. So 1/8, 2/8, 3/8, half. So 7/8 is going to be close to the 1 inch mark. And again, you don't need to worry about this being precise, okay? It's the idea again is that you are going to want to get close, but it's almost to 1 inch, and then 3/4 of an inch up from the bottom. So we're gonna look at 3/4 of an inch up from the bottom, and again, I'll bring out my T just so that you can see how that might work. So that's 3/4 of an inch, and I can actually look at this ruler and figure out where 7/8 is. So it's going to be roughly right around here. I think that's good, right there. Okay. And again, doesn't have to be perfect, doesn't have to be exact. All right, so our last piece is the trees, and that's going to be just double checking where the dimensions are here, because this is telling me the picture goes in there. Their lines are a little bit off here, it looks like. Yeah. So it's saying 3 inches from the top, 2 inches from the bottom, and I think it's 1 3/4 inches in. Their line is going a little bit long, so I think it's supposed to be 1 3/4 from the edge of the paper here. So 1 3/4, which would be right about here, and then it's supposed to be 3 inches down from the top. So 1, 2, 3 inches here. 1, 2, 3, which is kind of nice because it's kind of, you've got these lines. So, and then does that make it 2 inches from the bottom? No. So I think we're going to do 2 inches from the bottom, because I think they might mean that the picture goes 3 inches from the looks of it on the drawing. So we're going to go 2 inches from the bottom instead. So we're going to come up here to the 2 inch mark, roughly 3/4. And we're going to lay that down. All right. So now we've got that piece. So now we're going to add our diagonal piece here. So this is using the smaller one. Okay, so this is using this smaller piece here. And we are going to put that, again, this is coming down 2.5 down. And it's not really telling me how far in from the side, but it's 2.5 inches down from the top, and it is coming over a little bit over this piece here, the one with the tree small diagram. So we'll do our best there. So we're going to, again, add adhesive to this. Again, I'm going to add adhesive to the bigger pieces here so that we can get it to stay down. And then in the corners, again, this is going to be under stuff, so we don't need too much. All right, so we're going to go with this, and we're going to be 2.5 inches down from 2.5 inches. So we're going to come here, 1, 2.5. So we're gonna come down. We're gonna make it over to the right just a smidge. So just like that. All right. So it's overlapping this piece, and it's coming off onto the petal pink on the right hand side. Okay, so now we can attach our photos. So the 2 photos that we have, we are going to have a 4x6 photo, and we are going to have a 4x4 photo. That's what that looks like. So we got a 4x6 and a 4x4, and the thing is that the 4x6 is at an angle. This is at an angle, and this one is straight up and down. So so that is it's going to come in 2 inches from the left hand side at the angle, and then it's going to be a little bit shorter on the right. So again, you do not have to necessarily do this perfectly. I am going to pop this up on foam tape, and I am going to use foam tape that I have. I don't like the dimensionals. It's just it's too many things to peel off, and so for me, I prefer the foam tape. I'm trying to keep it keep it so that I have space so I can tuck things under and on the side. So I'm going to have that one, and then I'm going to put the foam tape on this one as well. And oops, that's a little bit too much there. Turn that guy up. That should be good. Okay, so we will put down our photo placeholder and put it at an angle. And again, I'm not going to worry about whether or not this is perfect to the to this. I want, well, let's grab, what I do want is make sure this tag here, oops, I want to make sure this tag is there. So I think I might use that as my place reference here. All right. Okay, I think that looks good. All right, and then this one is overlapping, and so I am not going to take all of the adhesive off of the foam strip because I want to be able to slip the picture in. So I'm going to tear this so that the side that's going to be overlapping onto this photo doesn't actually stick. And actually I want to keep, no, that one's good. That one I want to remove. So that way I protect and being able to put this photo on. And this one we're going to put here. I think I want it up a little bit higher. Okay, so I think that's going to work right like that. Okay. All right, so now that we've done that, we're going to add our embellishments. So there's a few embellishments that we need. We need the tag, the leaf, 2 of those. We need the birds, and then we need some stickers. So the big sticker that we're going to use is this Grateful for the Moments Together. I'm going to pull that one off, and I'm actually going to take my embossing powder and I'm going to unstick this because I want this to be on 3D foam tape as well. So I want to make sure that this is doesn't have any sticky to it. So I've got that. And then the other thing I need is the maple leaf sticker, which is this sticker right here, which I am also going to take the 3D, or not the 3D, sorry, the adhesive off of. Okay, So now what we're going to do is start building our clusters. And I'm going to start with this bottom cluster. Again, because this is going to somewhat overlap these photos, I am only going to put 3D foam tape down here at the bottom, so that it doesn't interfere with me putting the pictures on. Oops. So I'm going to start about halfway, and we're going to just put a couple pieces of 3D foam tape. And then that way, when I put this on like this, we are good. Just like that. Okay, so we'll go ahead and adhere that guy down. Don't want it too high on the photos, but right about, you know what? Let's get it more centered. I think I want it more centered here. Okay, I think that's good right there. Okay, and then these leaves we're just going to tuck underneath. One sort of going down, like so, and the other one going up. Again, I'm just looking at the picture and following along here. Like so. Again, be careful about your adhesive and where you're putting it, because again, I don't have a photo that I'm putting on here, so I don't want to get any adhesive on this picture to make it difficult to add the picture to. All right, so that is those pieces, and then we've got our two leaves that are part of the wood grain. So I'm going to just add some adhesive to those and stick those in here. Yeah. All right, so the other piece that we need to put in is the tag up at the top. Again, this could be used for a date or used for even a little bit more journaling. And if you wanted to add some twine to it, you could. So I'm going to just stick that in there like that. And then our last cluster is over here on the right. Oh, and I forgot, looks like we need a heart. I missed that. So we need a heart from the, looks like we need this heart. We need that heart from the wood grain die sheets, and we need to add some pen to that. So again, I'm going to go back to my coral and the medium, and they've just added some lines to this, and then run around the other side like that. So that's what that one looks like. Okay, so I think we're gonna, this looks like this, we're gonna just put down, and we're gonna tuck it behind this picture here, like so. We're gonna grab our maple leaf, and again, 3D foam tape that one. And you could use a dimensional on these smaller pieces if you wanted. If that's if you wanted to sort of save some of your foam tape for the bigger pieces and use dimensionals on these smaller stickers, that would work as well. Okay, so this is going to come off to the side here. Like, that's getting in my way, like that. Again, I want to make sure that I'm not doing any glue where that is, but I want to make sure that these two things are overlapping so that they have some relationship to each other. Okay, we'll put the heart up here, like so. And then I think we're one more sticker. We need this heart sticker right here. And we'll add that. And this side of the layout is complete. So I'll just give you a quick view of that. Hopefully you can see all those details. So that's side 2. All right, so let's get going on the other side. So this is the left side, and hopefully this will go together faster since we did all the prep work already. Okay, so flipping this over, the assembly is, we're going to again use the light side, so just double check that you have the light side. I have done this in the past where I've accidentally done one side of the layout on the dark side and one side on the light side. Don't want to do that. Okay, so on the assembly, we're going to add 2D, which is going to be this one, 2E, and then 2F. And it's sort of assembly, but backwards, the way that we did the last one. Oops, this shifted. So we are going to adhere this 1/4 inch from the right side of this layout. So we're just going to line this up the 1/4 inch mark at the top and the bottom. Here. Oops. A little bit short there. Want to make sure that we're covering it. There we go. Okay, there we go. Okay, and then we're going to put 2E, and that's going to be 7/8 of an inch from the left and 3/4 of an inch up from the bottom. So this one I'm just eyeballing. I'm not trying to get too precise. I'm just going to eyeball this. Okay, that looks good. And then this one is going to come in 1/2 inch from the right and 2 inches from the bottom. So we're going to come up 2 inches here, and we're going to come to the 1/2 inch mark here. I like grid paper. It helps a lot in the 2 inches, 1/2 inch. Yeah. Helps with the lining up a lot, even if it's wonky grid lines like this one. Okay, so that one is now down. So the next piece we're going to put on is the die cut piece. So again, we're going to just add adhesive to these big strips here, and then in a couple of other places just to make sure that it stays tacked down. It looks like that'll be good. Okay, and we're going to add this. Does it give us dimensions? Looks like 1/4 inch from the left side is what it's saying. So 1/4 inch from the left side and 2.5 inches down. So 1, 2.5. Oh, I got that almost exactly right. Right there. Okay. So now that we've got that, we can add our photo placeholders, and we're going to take 2 3x3s and another 4x6 on this one. So 2 3x3s and a 4x6. And again, I'm going to go ahead and pop these up on 3D foam tapes. So these are not overlapping, so I don't need to worry about them touching. I just need to make sure I just put foam tape on. Again, my typical rule is I leave a little bit of room at the top and a little bit of room on the sides and bottom, so that if I need to slip anything in those spaces, I can do that. So this one is supposed to come in 2 inches from the right and 3 inches up from the bottom. So again, we're going to go over 2 inches from the right and 3 inches from the bottom. And oops, that's upside down. We're going to eyeball this 2 inches, 3 inches. Okay, right there. And then these guys are 1/4 of an inch from the one that we just laid down. And I'm just looking at this. I think my placement was a little bit off. So I'm going to actually shift this down a little bit. I'm just trying to be careful that I don't tear the paper. I didn't push down too hard on the foam tape, so that's good, because you want to see a little bit of that grid. So I'm going to just shift this down just a smidge so that we see the grid like that. Okay. And again, I'm not pushing it down just in case I want to make some adjustments. Foam tape isn't always forgiving when you try to pull it up. So just being careful with it and not pushing too hard when you place it gives you a little bit of leeway to move things around. All right. So again, these are supposed to be 1/4 of an inch from the one that you placed, and it's supposed to be in line. So again, I'm just going to eyeball about 1/4 of an inch and just try to make sure that we're lined up there at the top. And then there's supposed to be about 1/8 of an inch between this one and the next one. And again, the idea here is that they should line up. They should be fairly lined up. I'm not getting quite 1/8 of an inch there, but I'm okay with that. Okay, so now those are in place, and now we can do all of our embellishments. So we need to go grab our other pieces that we punched out. So we've got, again, a number, oops, that's for project 3. This is for project 3, that's for project 2. So, okay, we need those pieces. And then we need some stickers. So the stickers we need are the deer here, it looks like, and we need some word stickers that are up here. So first thing I'm going to do is, this one looks like it's up on 3D foam tape, so I'm going to go ahead and take the sticky off of this guy. Okay, so we've got that one. We need this as well. I'm going to take the sticky off of this one. So that's the leaf with the acorn. And let's see. What else do we need to grab? We need to grab a couple. Okay, so let's just start doing these clusters, because I don't want to take too many things off and work with them too much. So, okay, so the first thing we're going to do is we're going to do this cluster down here at the bottom, where we've got this piece, the leaf to start with, and then we'll add the words. So this one is going to just be adhered straight down, and we're going to put that right about there. This one's going to overlap, so I'm going to just put foam tape down at the bottom of this one. Because I don't want it to interfere with me getting photos on this layout. So I think that'll work. Okay, so we're going to put this guy right there. Okay, so then we've got the leaf, and this is going to just get some adhesive, and we're going to slide that underneath here. Like so. Oh, this is hanging over. We got to get it under there a little bit more. It's hanging off the edge. Okay, cool. All right, I think that works. Again, we can get our picture underneath there. Okay, so then we've got some words that we need to find, and it's like, can't get enough of this, and then this piece here. So this one we want to put down flat, because we're going to write on this. So this one we're going to put down here, and just overlap like that. And then you don't have to use can't get enough of this. There's lots of other things. Change can be beautiful, backyard barbecue, getting some fresh air, story of the day. So there's lots of other phrases here that you can use. I'm going to go ahead and use can't get enough of this. And I'm going to again do direct. This is a sticker, so I'm going to just put it down there like that. And we've got the lower, oh wait, no, we need a little we need another little maple leaf. So we need this little maple leaf right here. And that's going to come just underneath the deer, like so. Okay, so I think we've got all the pieces on that one. All right, so the next thing we're going to do is we're going to go up to this upper corner. And I don't see where they've used this tag. It says project 2, but they didn't use this tag in project 2 that I am seeing. So we're going to set that one to the side because it doesn't look like that belongs here. Okay, so we're going to build this cluster up here at the top. So we need 2 pieces from the sticker sheet. We need the wood grain piece and the dots here. So those are the 2 that we're going to start with. And this is going to go up here, up at the top. And we're going to say that's about 1 inch in or so from the top. Like so. Then we've got the wood grain one, and that can come down just a smidge from the top, but overlapping onto the dotted one. And then we've got the last flag, which I'm actually going to put on 3D foam tape just to give it some dimension, like so. And then that's going to lay on top of both of those pieces. Like that. Okay. And then our last things that we need to add, uh-oh, I lost one of my maple leaves. Okay, I'm going to have to go look for it. I don't see the other maple leaf here, and I know I just saw it. Thought I put them both down, but on the back of my foam tape. Okay, so these we're just going to adhere with just regular adhesive, and we're just going to place them to the left of the photos. Like that. All right. I don't think I'm missing anything on this one, so we'll just take a quick look at it so you can see the details. All right. So that's layout number 3. And that took us just about an hour. So hopefully we can get through layout 4 or layout 2. That was layout 2. Let's hope we can get through layout 3 a little bit faster and not have quite so long a live. But anyway, okay. So I'm just flipping over now to page 10. I'm going to grab a drink of water here. All right, so add the details to the wood grain die cuts with the Stampin' Write markers. So again, there are a few die cuts that we need to get for this one. It looks like we need the tree, that's this round, this sort of pear-shaped tree, and we need the stump. And then on the other side, we're going to use the word grateful. and the hearts. So the smaller hearts here. So I think we need a small heart. I'm trying to figure out what size hearts we've got here, because I'm seeing a bigger heart and a smaller heart on this. So I think the smaller heart is in this little piece down here at the bottom, where it's got 3 tiny hearts, and then one of these hearts that are just scattered, not the one with the lines, but just the ones that are scattered. So I think those are the 2 that we need from here. All right, so as far as prepping these, the hearts are going to get the coral, the medium coral, and we're just going to create a line down the outside of it on both the big one and the small one. The small one's a little bit hard. Do your best. So the big and the small, I'm going to put those in my little basket because I very easily could use those. I can't tell. It does look like they did the grateful, but I think I'm going to wait for the grateful until I get it adhered down, just because it might bend it too much and I don't want to damage it. All right, so coming back, the tree stump is going to be the dark light yellow blend, and it's just going around the swirls that are part of the tree stump. Like that. And then we'll take the mid green and go around the outside of the tree. And then I think we'll come up and do the branches as well. Okay. There we go. So we've got those 2 pieces, and then the rest are going to be stickers and die cuts. So our die cuts that we have here that we already punched out, we will also put in our little tray. Okay, so let's get going. So the first thing is use the crust curry cardstock as the base page. So it does not say to use the light or the dark. So I think it's up to you which way that you like it better. In this case, as far as the pieces go, do you like these pieces on the light or do you like them on the dark? And I'm going to just I want to grab the plaid or the stripes, and that's going to make my decision for me, I think, as to which way I like it better, because the stripe is a big piece of this, and I do think when I look at it, I think the stripes pop better off of the dark or the true side of the crushed curry. So hopefully you guys can see that. So I'm going to go ahead and go with the dark side, and I'm going to take these guys off. But I am going to gut this paper, because if you look, we only have 1/4 of an inch of this showing. Okay, and I hate to have that much paper wasted. And I don't have my other trimmer, so we're going to use this trimmer. My other trimmer's in another room. So I'm actually, because I've only got 1/4 of an inch showing, I'm going to do 3/4 of an inch on the right hand side of this trimmer, and I'm going to come down to 3/4 of an inch here on the rail, and then I'm going to go down to 11 1/4 down here, and then I'm going to rotate it. So if you're doing 3/4 of an inch, you want to do 3/4 of an inch from on the rail side as well. On this side, on the side that's on your paper, or showing you the measurements here. So again, 11 1/4 on that side, and down to here. Okay, so I think I got pretty clean. So now we've got this really nice size piece of paper that we can use on our other layouts. And then we'll do the same thing with this one. Again, I said earlier I don't like to keep things that that are small pieces maybe, or pieces that I'm not going to have a place to store or use. But I also don't like to have a bunch of paper that's going to be hidden behind a bunch of other paper that's not necessary. That to me is wasteful, because I can again use this big piece for lots of things, and storing this is not as difficult for me in my paper storage system. All right, so we have gutted out both of the right and the left hand side. All right, so we're going to put one of these away, and we are going to pull out the pieces that we need for this. So we need 3A. We need to find all of our little markings. 3A. Okay, we needed 3A, B, and C. Got lots of little pieces on this one. So 3B and then 3C. Okay, so we've got 3A, 3B, 3B, and 3C. So those are the pieces we need there. Then we need 3D and 3E. So I want to look for 3D and 3E. Okay, I'm not seeing 3D and 3E, but I am guessing I can't read my own letters. Sorry. That looks like 3G. Okay, we're going to just keep those off to the side because I think those are the other pieces we need. But let's just double check, because we do need some of these guys. I didn't mark my whites, so that might be the white pieces. Let's just double check, because I didn't mark my whites. Yeah, 3D and 3E are our... 3D is definitely our... and 3E is the exclusive. Okay, so 3D is going to be our big white piece, it looks like. So our one that's one of these. And then 3E is going to be another strip of our exclusive paper. So we're using 2 strips of exclusive paper on that. Okay, so 3D, 3E, there's our 3. Okay, 3E, okay. So that looks like that's that. And then we need 3F. Attach 3F. 3F is another white piece of paper. And then we need 3G, 3H, and 3I. 3I, 3G, and 3H. Okay, so we need those. Okay, so these are the ones that are left, and then we'll need another piece of white here in a minute. Okay, I think we've got it all. And hopefully I've kept enough space on this that we can make sure that we can adhere it. Oh, there we go. Okay, so again, I'm double checking which side I want the dark side up. So we're going to go ahead and just lay this down like that. And we are going to start adhering our pieces. Now remember, we've got a big hole in this, so we're only going to be adhering to the edges here. So that's important. All right, so the first piece we want to adhere is going to be 3A, which is this piece here, and that's going to be 1/4 of an inch in from the left and 1/4 of an inch in from the top and bottom. So I'm going to adhere that one first. So I'm going to just put some adhesive essentially down this left-hand side at the top and bottom, and then we're going to line this up at 1/4 of an inch here and 1/4 of an inch there. Okay, so that looks good. So that one's down. All right, so the next one we're going to do is 3B, which is this piece, but we're going to be using the tree side. Okay, so we'll grab that. And we're just adhering this at the top and the bottom, right? I don't need any adhesive anywhere else because this is a big hole. So again, we're just going to line this up with the other piece here because it's supposed to match up 1/4 of an inch. Like so. And then we're going to take our striped paper, and that should fit again here and should leave us 1/4 of an inch all the way around as well. So we'll just add some more adhesive around the edge here. All right, that's done. Okay, so then our next thing is we need to take our big piece of white and we need to attach this to the base. So we're going to leave this flat. And what this says is that it needs to be, just looking at where the dimensions are, it looks like what they've done is they've lined it up directly on the edge of the striped paper, and it's 2 1/8 inches down from the top. So 2 1/8 inches down from the top, 1, 2 1/8, roughly right about here. I feel like I'm crooked. Right about there. And again, I'm lining it up with the edge of that striped paper here, like that. Okay. Then my next piece is going to be this piece here, and that's going to be 1/8 of an inch from the sides, essentially. So 1/8 and 1/8 from the top and bottom. Again, I'm going to just put this down directly to the paper, and this one I'm going to just eyeball 1/8 of an inch. Like so. Okay. And then we have one photo that's going to go on this, and I'm going to put this up on 3D foam tape. So this one we're going to raise up. And I see that we have nothing tucking in on this one, so I don't have to worry so much about leaving space. But you never know, you might make some decisions later when you're looking at this layout that you want to have more, more embellishments that you want to use. Okay, so this is going to go in 1/4 of an inch and 1 inch up from the bottom here. So again, I'm going to just eyeball this. I'm going to do about 1/4 of an inch in from the 1/4 of an inch is on the specialty paper, 1/4 of an inch there, and then 1 inch up from the bottom. So I'm going to go just a little bit higher, I think. Yeah. Okay, there we go. I think that works. All right, so now we've got all of the pieces pretty much down except for these pieces which we need to dovetail. So these are the pieces that are here at the top. So we've got the green, the brown, and the, that's not crushed curry, that's Cajun Craze. So we need to dovetail these. So we need to grab our scissors and we want to dovetail these. So I want to dovetail these. I want the trees going up. So I want to dovetail this one because it does have a direction to the paper. So I'm going to just sort of find the middle here, cut in at the middle, and then from each side, cut into that center point from that first cut. And so I've got my first dovetail. Then we don't have to worry about which side we dovetail on these because there isn't a pattern direction on these. Oops, I made a cut way too far on that one. I might have to fix that. I might have to make that a deeper cut here because I cut way too far. That did not work well. Let's see if I can fix this. There we go. Okay. Okay, I think we saved that one. Again, scraps off to the side. And then one more dovetail here. Like so. And like so. Oops, not quite cut all the way. There we go. Okay, so we got those dovetails, and then we need to grab some stickers. And we need to grab a few of our die cuts. So we need the these two die cuts, and we need these two wood grain die cuts. And we're going to, in all things give thanks, we're going to grab this sticker. And again, this one I'm going to also take the adhesive off of because I want to pop this guy up on 3D foam tape. Okay, so we're going to start with this one because this is the biggest piece. Whenever you're working with embellishments, you always want to start with the piece that is the biggest. So that you can orient the other pieces around it. So that's really important. I am only going to put 3D foam tape halfway up because I need to stick tags in underneath it, and I want to have space to do that. So we're going to go ahead and we're going to put this piece down first. And we're going to overlap here, but give enough space for those flags. Okay, so now we're going to put our flags in. So we're going to start with our brown plaid one, and we're going to tuck that guy in first. Next, pull this guy up a little bit higher. This one we can have going off that white. Then we're going to put our second one, that is our Cajun Craze, and we're going to just sort of overlap those like so, and then we'll add our last one, which is our green one, in the middle there. Pull that up a little bit like that. Okay, all right, so that is done. So now we can put on our other pieces. So the tree is supposed to be adhered to this die cut. So it sort of sits in the middle of that. Let's see if there's a good orientation there. Okay, I think I like that. And I think we'll just adhere this one directly to the page. Like so. And I think this one will pop up on 3D foam tape. And it doesn't look like we're going to stick anything behind it, so we don't have to worry about placement of the 3D foam tape. Oops, that was a little too long. And then we have to go grab some words as well. So we're going to overlap these. Again, one of the things that when you're doing with clustering is you want to overlap your pieces so that they have a relationship to each other. Otherwise, they look like they're floating, and so you just want to be careful of that. So anytime you're putting clusters together, think about how they're going to relate to each other. All right, so that is those pieces. Now we're going to go grab some words. So give thanks and grateful heart, I believe, are the two here. Yep, give thanks right there, and grateful heart. And again, you can pick any of the phrases. You do not have to use these phrases. So we're going to just sort of stick the grateful heart there, and then offset the give thanks from the grateful heart right underneath it. And then we do have one other piece we need to add, another die cut, which is this die cut that has the little dashed line on it. And that's going to go underneath the picture. And this is where you can put your date or a small bit of journaling. Okay, so I think we've got all the embellishments on this one. So we're just going to lift this guy off. I'll pull it up just so that you can see it. Give you a little bit of a close-up. Hopefully give you a good view of that one. Okay, so set that one aside, and we're going to pull in our other pieces here for our last layout. So this one definitely went faster because we prepped everything before. Okay, so again, double check that you're using the dark side if that's the side that you did your other one on, so that you don't accidentally mix your mix it up and have one side of the layout dark and one side of the layout light. That's, like I said, I've done it before, and it's not like it's going to be noticed that much with this 1/4 of an inch reveal that we have, but again, just be conscious of it, I guess, is something to think about. Okay, so we're going to grab our pieces again that we need, and this time we're starting again from the right hand side and going to the left. So we're going to adhere all of these pieces exactly the same way that we did on the previous side, on the other side. So we're going to come over here, we're going to add our adhesive onto, oops, don't want to shift this because then we'll get off on our layout there. Let's just make sure that we're laid down correctly here. Sorry, everything kind of shifted, and I want to make sure that we're as square as we can be, because I'm not good at eyeballing square. Okay, there we go. I think we're good. Okay, so 1/4 of an inch from the top and the bottom and to the side is what we're looking for here. All right, I think that's good. Then our next piece is going to be the trees. And again, I'm going to do it on our actual paper here. I'm just going to go ahead and just put adhesive all the way around the edge, the inner edge of the crushed curry. And so we're doing our second piece here, and this, we're just going to butt this up to the first piece. And then we're going to take our last piece, which is our stripes, and we're going to butt that up as well. And then we can just double check we don't have an adhesive overlay. Okay, we've got that. Okay, so the next thing we need is our big white piece. And again, we are going to adhere this down, and this is butted up right to the left side this time, right, oops, don't want to do that. So right up against the striped paper, and it's, let's see, what are we looking at here? 2 1/8 inches down from the top. So again, I'm going to just eyeball this. So 1, 2, and 1/8 is just a smidgen past that. And then line it up with the edge of the white, or edge of the stripes, sorry. Like that. Okay. Then we're going to take our other specialty paper, and this, I didn't cut right. It doesn't look like this piece is too big. Okay. So I didn't cut one of these pieces right. This is 7. So I need to cut this down to 7. This looks like, it looks like I've got this too big. Just double check. So I need to cut this down. So it looks like I did an incorrect measurement on this, and I need to cut this down to 7. I'm not sure how I did that. I'd have to go back and look at how I was cutting, but that now should fit the way we want it. Yeah, we want about 1/8 of an inch reveal, so that looks good. All right. Better to have it bigger than smaller sometimes. If you cut too big, then at least you know that you can fix it. If it's too small, sometimes it's harder to fix. All right. So now we've got those, and then our pictures for this, we are going to have the 4 squares of white. So those are going to be our bases, and then we're going to have our pictures on top of that. So we've got 4 3x3s that are going to go on top of that. And these are just slightly bigger. So you actually don't even need to put these placeholders down because these squares act as placeholders. So I'm going to just save those placeholders for another time. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and pop these up on 3D foam tape. And then we can embellish this layout. And we are done. We are done. We have finished all 3 of the layouts for Autumn to Remember. All right. So I know we've had people come in and leave. I've seen a few people jump on. Haven't seen anybody chat with me, but that's fine. Hopefully you will get some value out of maybe coming back and looking at this if you didn't get a chance to watch, or you can speed it up and walk through it faster. Okay, so I'm looking at this and it's 1/4 of an inch up from the bottom. So they're starting, or sorry, 1/2 an inch up from the bottom and 1/4 inch from the side. So I'm gonna eyeball this because my measurements aren't quite right. 1/2 an inch, that's 1/4. That would be 1/2. I'm going to be careful because I feel like maybe I'm not quite the right size, and I want to make sure that I have space at the top for this one. So that looks, yeah, see, I don't like that. It's not even. So I don't know if I cut things wrong or what, but I'm going to go ahead. I'm going to do the 1/4 inch from the side, but I'm only going to do 1/4 inch from the bottom. And then I think this will look okay. Yeah, that looks good. So I'll have to go back and look at my measurements and see if I messed up my measurements. But I'm doing 1/4 inch between roughly, or 1/8 of an inch. Looks like I got about 1/8 of an inch, little less than 1/8 of an inch, or a little more than 1/8 of an inch in between, and then 1/4 and 1/4. So then I've got the strip here, and I have all the embellishment pieces that we need. So we're going to start with our flags again up here at the top. So we're going to go ahead and do our dovetails. And so we're going to start again with the trees. Make sure our trees are going the right direction. We don't want them upside down. So we'll dovetail this one first. Okay. Then we can do the green. And we are in the home stretch, folks. Home stretch. Okay, and then we want the tree side of this one. And our trees are supposed to be going up and down. I don't know that we cut this one correctly, but we'll make it work. We will make it work. Okay, there we go. Get rid of those guys. Okay, so these are going to go behind the white. So we'll start with that and we will tuck it behind the white. And it's over towards the right photo here, like that. Then we'll do our trees, and that's gonna go, actually that looks like that one's behind, so we're gonna lift this guy up and we're gonna tuck that guy in like so. And then we've got our green. I have a mess over here to my right, just in case anybody was wondering. Just trying to decide how I want this one to go. I think I want this one to go like that. Okay, so that's that. All right, so now we've got some stickers we need to find. So Happy Days is our sticker here. And then we've got our 2 die cuts. And then we have the Grateful die cut. I don't see this one. Did I missed this one? We're going to see if I can find where that one goes. And then our 2 little hearts. Okay, so I don't think we're using anything else other than that. Okay, so Happy Days is going to go here, but it's going to overlap the picture. So I am going to go ahead and take the adhesive, use the anti-static pouch and take off the adhesive and then put adhesive back on. And I think I will go ahead and pop this up on 3D foam tape. So I'm going to go ahead and add these little bits that I had left that were too long. Oops, that one's not sticky anymore. We'll go ahead and add this and pop it up. Oops, too long. Like so. And then that way I can overlap it, but not cause, have any interference with the photos. Okay, so grab that. All right. Okay, just like that. Okay, we're going to put these down. And these are going to be flat because we're going to write on them. And we don't want to try and write on top of 3D foam tape. All right. Try and get these in line with each other. Okay, and then the last thing we need to do is grab the Grateful. Here we go. And like I said, this is going to get some pen work done on it, but because it's not that delicate, but it's delicate enough that I want to do it when it's actually adhered down. So we're going to grab that and we're going to go ahead and add adhesive to this. Like so. And we're going to put this sort of in the middle of this empty space here. And just a little bit to the right. Okay, so I think we're going to do the green on this one. And I'm going to, it looks like they just sort of did some highlight outlines on each of the letters on the left-hand side. So, nothing too fancy here. Just some outlining. like that. Okay, and then we've got our two hearts that we outlined earlier. Again, get some adhesive on those. This little guy is kind of hard. Oops, I almost lost that guy. Okay. The little ones are the hardest. Sometimes a glue dot is easier on these little guys than the Tombow adhesive, but okay. So just going back and double checking, because we do have this one die cut that says it was part of 3, but I don't see that they used it. Oh yeah, they did. They used it on the picture. So they put it up here on the picture. So they popped out these pieces here. Okay. So I think what I'm actually going to do is I'm going to put a little bit, I don't want to put this on, since I don't have the picture, I'm actually going to take some 3D foam tape and I'm going to cut it not quite in half, a little less than half, and I'm going to put it at the top of each of these triangles. And I'm going to use that because I took the picture and I popped it up, so I've got it dimensional. So if I do this, then I can put this on right above the picture, and it can overlap the picture, but it won't interfere with me getting the picture on this layout, if hopefully that makes sense. So essentially what I did is I just put a little bit of adhesive, foam adhesive, and I'm going to put it here, but I'm going to do it so that I can still slip the picture underneath like that. So on this one, they have it fully on the picture. I'm just above the picture on that one instead. Okay, so I think we've got this layout now done. And we'll just pull this guy up. And I will give you a quick close-up of this one. As well. So we have our final 2 layouts for this kit. So this is layout number 3, so that you can see all of it together. Hopefully get that all in frame. And then for layout number 2, and I'm just going to check layout number 2 because we did have an extra piece, but I'm still not seeing where that extra piece would go. I'm not seeing it. All right, so this is layout number 3. And layout number 2 is this one. All right, so hopefully you guys, if you have never used these workshop kits before, you now understand how to cut and how to look at the instructions so that you can put them together the way that they were designed. And when you get more confident in your abilities, then you can start deviating. You can decide if you don't like the background paper as an example, or you don't like an element, that you can start changing it and get more creative. And just so that you know the value, I have all of these die cuts left. All of these die cuts. I've got toadstools, I've got hearts, I've got trees, I've got more words, oh blessed day, give thanks, autumn days, signs, swirlies, arrows. I have a ton of die, of this die sheet left, and I have about half of the sticker sheet left. Now we've used most of the big titles, but we do have one big title left, which is Enjoying the Last Days of Summer. And then we have a bunch of little ones here, but we also have Bliss as a title that we could use. We've got flags, we've got other little elements that we can use. So there is plenty left in this kit with the leftover scraps that we had from our cutting that we will be able to use to create another 2-page layout. Okay, so that's what I'll probably come back with next week, showing you that fourth 2-page layout, using up the rest of these scraps. And I want to wish everyone a happy Sunday. Hopefully you have an enjoyable week, and you can join me next Sunday live at the same time, 1 o'clock Pacific time is when I think I'll be going live again. And I think that's it for today. Thanks everyone who joined. I really appreciate it. Give me comments if you liked these layouts, and if you're going to try them. Love to see anything that you guys create, and happy to answer any questions if you have them. All right, everyone. Have a wonderful rest of your Sunday afternoon. Talk to you soon. Bye.